Elon Musk released a few interesting messages about Putin and Zelensky and explained interesting details about why Zelensky and Putin are going to accept a new peace offer from the US government to once and for all stop this terrible war between Russia and Ukraine, and with that to finally end this terrible conflict in that region that is dangerous for everyone. As you know, the recent Ukrainian attacks on Russian territories have escalated tensions, pushing the conflict to a highly volatile phase with unpredictable outcomes. This intensification risks drawing in more international actors, raising the possibility of broader confrontations and destabilizing the region further. And Musk started implementing his plan to fix Ukraine-Russia conflict, because according to Musk, billions of dollars from US will not be spent in these wars anymore, because it's time to stop these wars. But what are these reasons to why Putin is going to accept this peace offer from US government and finally stops the war? Well, let's start from the beginning. So Elon Musk shared a very interesting opinion to his Twitter followers. Reports suggested that Musk had been involved in selecting Trump's Treasury Secretary, Special Envoy for Ukraine and Russia, tasking him with leading peace negotiations in the ongoing conflict. Musk said on X, "Would be interesting to hear more people weigh in on this, for @RealDonaldTrump to consider feedback." After winning the 2024 presidency, Donald Trump has begun preparations for a peace deal to end the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine, signaling a high-stakes diplomatic effort. Trump has appointed retired Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg as Special Envoy to spearhead negotiations, leveraging his military and strategic expertise. Notably, Elon Musk, with his extensive ties to both Ukraine and Russia through his business ventures like Starlink, is reportedly playing a supportive role in facilitating communication and proposing innovative solutions to rebuild critical infrastructure in war-torn areas. Also, Elon Musk made fun of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's claim that Ukraine is an independent country that cannot be pressured into negotiating. Musk shared a rewritten version of Zelensky's statement from an interview with Ukrainian radio that said, "The US cannot force us to sit and listen at the negotiating table. We are an independent country." Musk's response was, his sense of humor is amazing. With that, as the US government is stating, the only ones who want the war to keep going are Putin and his ultra-nationalists. Ukrainians didn't want the war in 2014, 2022, or now. More than half of Ukrainians, 53%, want it to stop because people are in the worst situation there. About this situation, Putin said, "We consider ourselves in the right to use our weapons against those nations that use their weapons against us. In terms of escalation, we will respond surely and clearly." But a crucial question is, will Putin accept this peace offer from US government? And will Putin stop the war between Russia and Ukraine? The answer is that there are three main reasons why Putin might agree to this peace deal and stops the war. First reason is that Russia was facing a serious manpower crisis due to its ongoing war in Ukraine. Heavy losses on the battlefield had led to increased pressure for a new troop mobilization. Defense ministry officials had pushed for this, but Vladimir Putin remained hesitant, fearing the political fallout from a decision that could upset public perception of the war. The first mobilization in 2022 had added 300,000 troops, including many with little military experience, sparking protests and border closures. Since then, Russia had relied on recruiting volunteers and offering significant financial incentives, such as doubling signing bonuses to $4,300. Yet despite these efforts, recruitment had fallen short as casualties rose. Western estimates suggested Russia was losing over 1,000 soldiers daily. To compensate, Moscow has reshuffled existing forces, pulling experienced troops from other regions, and deploying young, inexperienced conscripts. This strategy has led to mounting casualties, prompting some military leaders to argue that another mobilization is inevitable. "There is physically no one to carry out attacks," lamented veteran correspondent Yuri Kotnuk. The war had also strained Russia's economy, with 8% of the budget now allocated to military personnel. Recruitment stations had appeared across Moscow, even in metro stations, highlighting the desperation for more soldiers. Still, the Kremlin had been cautious. A new mobilization could have disrupted the public's perception of the war as a distant, manageable conflict, risking political instability for Putin. As analyst Andrei Kolesnikov had noted, people want to continue their peaceful lives. Another mobilization would be dangerous for the Kremlin. The war had severely drained Russia's finances, weakening its economy and impacting both national investment and military capacity. In addition to losing hundreds of pieces of equipment, Russia had suffered significant casualties among its soldiers. If Putin had chosen to pursue peace, it would have provided an opportunity for the country to address pressing domestic issues and prevent further military and economic exhaustion, and that's why he might agree to this peace deal. The second reason is that, in Moscow, a group of protesters, including wives and relatives of Russian soldiers, had gathered to demand the return of their loved ones from the war in Ukraine. Organized by the campaign group The Way Home, the demonstration had marked 500 days since the controversial partial mobilization ordered by Vladimir Putin in September 2022, which had sent 300,000 reservists to the front lines. The protesters had laid flowers at the tomb of the unknown soldier near the Kremlin, calling attention to the ongoing loss of life. "We want our husbands back alive," said Antonina, one participant, in a video shared by independent outlet Sodavision. She also had rejected government compensation if her husband were to die, saying she would either go to a convent or follow him. These protests highlighted that even Russian citizens had been growing weary of the ongoing war and the constant fear of losing their loved ones. This discontent underscored why Putin should have considered ending the conflict and pursuing peace. Prolonged war risked deepening domestic unrest as more citizens began to question its heavy toll. Left unchecked, such discontent could have escalated into broader societal instability, potentially leading to civil strife. That's why Putin might see this peace negotiations as a necessary step. A peace deal would not only have addressed these concerns, but also help calm the growing tension among citizens, restoring a sense of stability and unity within Russia, and that's why Putin might agree to this peace deal. The third reason is that Russia's invasion of Ukraine had severely damaged its reputation worldwide. According to a global poll, most countries now had a more favorable view of Ukraine than Russia. The collapse of Russia's standing began when the invasion started in February 2022, with the most negative views coming from Europe, the US, and Japan. For example, the UK had the harshest view of Russia, with a -79 rating, followed by Japan at -75, and other European countries like Germany, France, Italy, and Spain also expressing strong disapproval. This negative shift in Russia's global image could have pushed President Putin to seek a way to repair Russia's standing on the world stage. A peace agreement could have helped restore diplomatic relations and improve Russia's international reputation. If high-profile figures, like Trump or Elon Musk, had helped broker the peace, it might have given Russia a chance to regain some influence and lessen its isolation. Ending the war could also potentially allow Russia to rebuild its relationships with key global players, offering a path to restore its reputation and regain diplomatic leverage. Ending the war would have helped stabilize Russia's international relationships, reduced economic strain, and eased domestic unrest. For Putin, a peace agreement could have preserved his power, ensuring his position within the country while preventing further damage to Russia's future. And that's why Putin might agree to this peace deal. As of now, Musk and Trump are actively engaging in negotiations with many involved parties of Putin and Zelensky to reach an agreement and end the war. And that's it for today.